Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you're well. This one, I want to talk a little bit about Andrew Bridgen. There's a couple of things that he's done on X which caught my attention, and I think they warrant a little bit of discussion. One of them was this. It was a tweet that he put out, and it was a 2-minute video about Nigel Farage and the role of mainstream media playing things. And I thought I'd hijack his tweet and said, let's talk about dodgy elections, which in all likelihood cost you and your seat as well. And as you can see, Andrew had the good decency to reply to me, and I thank him for that. Indeed, no one ever talks about election fraud, only single voter fraud. And you can see there that I put a count there. Thanks for the reply, Andrew. Please have a look at my video when you get the time, and my other video on this. I attended the Royal Courts of Justice on the 16th to cover this, and we're currently awaiting the results of that. The fraud is in the bundles rather than the individual ballots. Graham Moore of the English Constitution Party is bringing this action under the Representation of the People Act, and those involved are desperate to stop this. They are worried. Thanks again. So that's that tweet, and the thumbnail there is from an earlier video I did where I actually explain explain what is going on. It's very important everybody understands that. Now, the actual MP involved is Sarah Pochin. Here she is, the Reform MP for Runcorn and Helsby. Now, let's be very clear on this. She is a beneficiary of this situation because she was returned as the MP for Runcorn and Helsby. And the whole matter is there is provable fraudulent activity going on at Runcorn and Helsby. So therefore, the returning officer is on the docket, who could be in a serious amount of shit if it goes Graham's way. And also Sarah Pochin, because she benefited from the election by being returned as the MP. Now, it's very, very big, this whole thing. It's not a case of sore loser. It's a case of, hang on a minute, there's cheating here, and we can prove this cheating here, and this could have an impact on elections all over the country, including the general election. Hell, this situation could be responsible for why Andrew Bridgen actually lost his seat. That's how big this is. To try and explain the cheat, to try and explain what happened, I'm going to play a short video from Graham where he explains it very well. There's a slight pause at the beginning, but once you get through it, please have a listen.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Yes, it's me, Graham Moore, otherwise known as Daddy Dragon, the president of the English Constitution Society and the leader of the English Constitution Party. I need to explain a very, very quick explanation of what's going on and what we're highlighting in court. We need to get the 3rd and 4th and 5th of November 2025 is the election hearing. 2 High Court judges travel from London to Chester to listen to 5 people's evidence that the election is a fraud. The election is a sleight of hand. I want you to understand something. Imagine a magician, and the magician has magicians' helpers, assistants, the magician's assistants. They're all part of that illusion in distracting the public from what they're actually doing, right? Which is sleight of hand, right? Many of those magicians' tricks, and you can confirm this by looking online, are patented and protected. So, because there's an intellectual property right to the magician's illusion, that's how he earns his money. That's how the magician's assistants earn their money. Imagine taking that principle and put it into an election where the returning officer is the magician, where the count officers that he brings into the vote are all trained in the illusion. And the illusion of election is where they count the votes, big stack like that. They then have, say, 50 votes, and then they put, let's say the Conservative Party are there, 50 votes. And then they put a Labour one there and a Labour one there. They clip it as a bundle. It looks like 50 votes for the Labour Party, right? It's not. It's 50 votes for the Conservatives, but they've just put them straight into their bundles. That is the illusion. Where does that happen? It happens in the place in the centre of the count, not on the edge, but on the centre, where the count agents can't see the sleight of hand. It's the same, that method of operation, and it is an MO of how a fraud is perpetrated on the people. When you get that situation happening, and by the way, it's happening all over the country, right, and various other different, but the actual method of operation of the fraud or the illusion is the same. So think of a magician and the way in which they create an illusion, you'll go, whoa, right? The returning officer is doing the same thing. Instead, he is the magician of the election. And what he's doing is highly illegal. That's what you've got to look for. And many people have spotted it. We're the only people to take it forward with 4 witnesses that are going to say, we saw that, right? Then their illusion is broken, right? And once it's broken, everyone knows this is how they have created the red wall in the north of England, not by the opinion of the people, not by the people giving their vote freely in a free election, but by the returning officer, sleight of hand, like a magician, telling people and appointing their own MP, right? Because it's no longer the representative of the people, it's the representative of the returning officer. And that's what you've got to understand. This is no minor case, right? It's an illusion. We're showing you what the illusion is. We are spelling out the method of operation in that court hearing. We're the only people to do it because they put all of these blocks in the way. That's why the 16th of October, 2025, when the returning officer and Sarah Pouchin are trying to block this case on the minorest of minor technicalities. And it is for you to stand there and say, we want to listen to this election hearing, we want to see the evidence, and we want to hear the count agents and the candidate explain how this fraud works. And then it blows apart the illusion of democracy. Thank you.
So on the 3rd, the 4th and 5th of November, there's going to be an election petition hearing in Chester, which is the nearest court available to the Runcorn and Helsby constituency, where all the evidence will be held. There's 3 days allocated to it of election fraud within that by-election. Graham gets his way, it'll be annulled. A full individual ballot recount could be asked for, some other remedy, or alternatively, Graham can lose. Now, you've got to ask yourself, why has the returning officer allowed this situation to develop as it has? Why couldn't there just be a full ballot recount when all of this information came out after the election? Well, what's happened, as Graham said in the video, on the 16th of October, we all went to the Royal Courts of Justice, where they managed to, this is the other side, Sarah Pouchin and the returning officers' defence teams, managed to get an expedited appeal hearing. And what they were trying to do was get the election petition case thrown out on a technicality. And that technicality was that Graham did not serve what he should have done, when he should have done, and how he should have done, in the time he should have done, all of which he did. He's actually got photographic evidence and documented evidence of the whole process. And they even said in court, well, he served it in time to the person he was supposed to. Why are we here, kind of thing? So they're really trying to stomp it. But going back to the point, this couldn't affect elections all over the country. if this goes all the way through. I'm going to go to Chester if we get that far. And I tell you, anybody that's ever stood in an election anywhere, and anyone that's ever had a suspicion of anything anywhere, really needs to pay attention to this case and this situation, because like Graham said in the video, this isn't a joke. This isn't a game. This is big. And, you know, you get content creators online who are supposed to be an alternative voice won't cover this. Instead, they'll piss off abroad somewhere to look at bullet holes in glass, you know. You get the mainstream media won't touch it at all. They just don't want to know. It's the whole process, the whole establishment is underpinned by this. At the end of the day, if we don't have a free vote, how can we lend our sovereignty to the people we want to represent us? And if we can't, the whole lot falls down. No one is talking about it. I can count probably on one hand the amount of alternative voices that are talking about it, me being one of them. In fact, maybe even a couple of fingers. Well, all of this comes with a cost, a great cost. And they keep trying to price Graham out of the game. It cost him about $5,000 to get it sorted in the first place. And they tried to throw another 25 grand in costs at him. And that's just going to go up and up. We've got a GoFundMe happening, which is doing really, really well. And as you can see there, 30,000 quid just over, about 30,500 quid. And again, anybody that's listening to this, if you can just share this video, share that GoFundMe. I'll leave a link in the description, or donate a few quid if you can. This is bigger than what happened in Runcorn and Helsby. This can affect everywhere. You want advance to get in and change everything? Well, if our elections aren't free and fair, you can't guarantee they will. That's to put it on the level, you know, that we've really got to. All we are just normal, regular, working class people, constitutionalists, if you were, who just want free and fair elections and want our country back. That's it. That's all of it. Right. The second tweet that Andrew Bridgen put, which I thought was quite interesting, was a little bit about the law. And I found what he had to say there pretty interesting. Let's have a read of this. This is a national disgrace and it should not be tolerated. We're sleepwalking to Sharia law for the UK. Why are our elected representatives not opposing this? If we are looking to adopt a different system of law, we should move back to English common law. Now, there's a common law jurisdiction, an English common law jurisdiction, which goes over England, Wales, and Northern Ireland. And by the claim of right, Scotland can also be afforded protection from this also. They stopped teaching common law and the English constitution in the 1970s in schools. So you end up with a generation of people that don't know anything about it. I did a video of this not so long ago where I got a bit pissed off and had a bit of a rant and went through all the things that they're trying to hide from view. It's very important, very vital that people understand what their rights are, what their protections are, and what they can do to protect themselves. Just to show you, this is the Bill of Rights, 1688. This is one of the founding documents which make up our constitution, the English constitution. And if you scroll down, this is all in public view, by the way. And, you know, you've got things like freedom of speech, frequent parliaments, the right to free and fair elections. And all the way down the bottom, there's a supremacy clause, which basically means English law takes precedent. And where you get all these Sharia courts, kangaroo courts, such as we've been discussing, and other matters, they're completely illegal and they shouldn't be there. So all of this needs to be reasserted. We need effectively a reset of our constitutional arrangements. That is the only way you'll fix all of this. People go, oh, you should be proud of British citizenship. You should be proud of British. Fuck off. It doesn't work like that. Do the homework. Look at the actual law. I've been reading all the law books and you can see exactly what the setup is. You know, this is a unitary state. It isn't a country. the word British nationality came from an act which was instigated by a Labour government in 1948. So we all go around going, "Oh, we're British, we're British, we're British." Biggest act of vandalism constitutionally we've had in a long time. In fact, it's treasonous. All of these things need looking at. You know, those unionists that go, "Oh, we got to protect our Britishness." You could do away with that act and still have the union. You know, it's time that the masses woke up to this. This is a picture of me and Graham at Leigh-on-Sea in Essex, and behind you, you will see all of the scrolls, you know, the coronation oath, the Bill of Rights, your common law rights, the Act of Settlement. They're all on a wall or all down there, and that is everything as it should be. Now, Graham is also the chairman of the English Constitution Society, and he's going around different places all over the country doing seminars on this very thing, the Constitution, your rights, England. That's what it's all about. I've got to phone a lady very soon, actually, who wants to try and get him down my neck of the woods and get one done in here. So if you know anybody that wants him in your area, just needs a hall and a bed to sleep in, really, you know, we can get him there. And, you know, it'd be great, and get that knowledge back into the public where it belongs. It's really vital. Anyway, again, thank you, Andrew Bridgen, for responding to me. I appreciate that very much. And I hope he gets to watch this video as well and fills in a little bit of knowledge about what's going on with the court case. And really, we agree on the law. It's got to stop. Everybody, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share me on your socials. And as always, I'll talk to you soon. Toodaloo.